I'm Jenny Carlson here with Anthony Slater. We are at the Thunder practice facility where the Thunder is preparing for Game 5 in this series against Memphis. And obviously the talk of today is the talk of Game 4, is the talk of the last 48 hours. It's Reggie Jackson and his great performance and that Game 4 overtime victory. I guess the big question now is, can he replicate this? Can he do this sort of thing again? What's your feeling about that, Anthony?
I don't think he's going to drop 32 again. I mean, we're talking about the greatest Durant Westbrook Thunder performance ever. James Harden's high was 30, and he's had some great performances. So you're not looking for 32 from him again. You're not looking for him to take over down the stretch because you assume that's going to go back on the heels of Durant and Westbrook. But can you get 16 from him? Can you get 20? Can you get what you've got most of the year in some of his better games? Can he shoot a high percentage? Can he really take advantage of a matchup against Beno Udrih, which going into the series you thought he could easily exploit? He's done it twice. Udrih's kind of got the better of him twice. It's an important matchup, and it's important that Reggie Jackson keeps the confidence that he got from the other night and keeps playing well. Maybe not 32 points, but a good night you need from him.
The Thunder obviously needed all 32 out of Reggie Jackson the other night, and part of the reason was a really, really tough night for Kevin Durant, a shooting night like we hadn't seen out of him in a really long time. Only 15 points for Kevin Durant, the supposed upcoming MVP announcement probably within the next week or so. What does he have to do to get on track?
It's weird how the NBA goes, because if Reggie doesn't make that crazy three, if Ray Allen doesn't make that three in the finals last year, we're talking about the Heat, maybe they've only won one. If Reggie doesn't make that three, obviously a lighter scale, but 3-1 Thunder are down. We're talking about Durant's terrible night. We're talking about Durant's MVP season, kind of going down the drain a little bit. So he's kind of got this second shot now. That's 2-2. I'm expecting him to be more aggressive. He's got to hit some shots. The other night, I know Tony Allen's been good on him, but he was missing some easy shots in Game 4. I expect him to come out, play well, maybe post up a little bit more. I know Darnell's writing about, I think, his post-up game tomorrow, which he had one well in last game. He's got to play well, though, because he's not been good this series, and he was not good last year against the Grizzlies. He's got to figure them out.
All right, lastly, a bit of history coming, we expect, on Tuesday night, as Derek Fisher is likely to play his 245th career playoff game. It will be an NBA record. What are we to make of this record? He's besting Robert Horry, by the way, and I think a lot of people remember Big Shot Bob and everything that he did for the Spurs. What does this mean? What are we to make of 245 career playoff games?
It's just really, really, really special feat. If you think about it, we're talking about a late first-rounder, undersized guard from Little Rock, Arkansas that came in with Kobe Bryant, but he was kind of the, guy, how long will he even last in the league? Can he last? Little left-hander. More playoff games than Bill Russell, more playoff games than Will Chamberlain, more playoff games than Kobe, 20 more than Tim Duncan. We're talking about legends of the sport, and he's had more playoff games than all of them. It's a special feat. I don't know what else you can really say about it. It speaks to the career he's had, really an underrated career if you think about it.
Well, and he's still hitting big shots. Who knows? He may hit a big one Tuesday night. We'll have to wait and see. Hey, let's see what the Thunder coaches and players had to say here on Monday after practice. They were talking about Reggie Jackson just like everybody else.
Well, me and Reggie have a close relationship. When he got drafted that lockout year, I think, one night in particular, he slept on my kitchen floor. So that's why our relationship started. But we have a great relationship, man. It's up and down. We get on each other. We almost go to blows sometimes. But, when I'm there for him when he needs me, he's there for me when I need him. To talk to anything, just to be there for. So and that hug right there just symbolizes our relationship, and it was good to celebrate that moment with him, just knowing how big it was for not just him but our whole team, our whole city. It was big for him. I know it was just Game 4 in the playoffs, but that was the biggest stage for him, and he came out and performed well, and it was good to celebrate with him.
Why do you think you were so emotional?
Just my journey so far. My life journey to get here, things I've dealt with in my career so far here. Being a Thunder player, just been some tough times, and just finally you grow up thinking of moments where you get a chance to really feel like you impact your team and help take over a game and win. And I was just happy that we did it together, happy to be a part of getting stops, making shots at the moment, and my teammates trusting in me, just allowing me to play free-flowing. So it was a very emotional moment for me. Just hopefully one of many to come, but it was just a great experience. I enjoyed it so much.
Can that be like a breakthrough, just a mentally game that he can build off of?
Definitely. One of those games in that type of atmosphere during that time, during this time of the year is definitely one of those games, can help you out, help your confidence out, and help you move forward to the next one.
Now this series goes to Game 5. It's essentially a 3-game series as both teams have stolen games on the other team's home court. Now it's the best of 3. What does the Thunder have to do to get off on the right foot and win the first of those 3?
I mean, this is a game we talked about it a little bit earlier, but Kevin Durant's got to get going. I mean, they've got him to this point. Reggie Jackson got him. The team's got him to 2-2. You got a 3-game series where you have the home court. MVP, take us home is what they're probably saying. Russell Westbrook's got to be better. He's got to shoot better. But, I mean, I think this falls on Kevin Durant. This falls on Kevin Durant to win this series and not have an MVP ceremony that's going to feel kind of like a funeral. So I really think it's about Durant.
All right, tip-off at 8 p.m. at The Peak. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.